wanna see the same things you can see. Understand the meaning on a new degree.
Hi everyone, so I was drinking my coffee this morning. I was like, hey, maybe you would like to do a tag along with me today. It is Saturday, September 20th, and I have some work to do in the shed. I need to get some good work done to justify wandering in the woods because I really want to wander in the woods today. It is just a beautiful day here in Northwest Montana. We've got my microphone is the other direction. I will have to get a different microphone scenario if this is something I end up doing more often, but you'll just have to bear with me for a moment. It is just such a beautiful day. We can see our mountains again because the smoke has cleared. It's fabulous. These two are feeling saucy this morning. Our neighbors are having a wedding and they have people visiting them, and so the dogs are being a little bit nutty. I thought that I would drop off my knitting stuff that I thought I would show you. Drop it off at the picnic table. Oh, you two, you are just something else. Again, we're not landscaped or anything, so it's very rough around here still. I've been wandering around in a t-shirt, capris, and realized it was only 48 degrees, but hey, I'm pretty darn comfortable. Oh, you know what? I need to grab something from the truck. We went to Michael's last night, and Lowe's, I guess, as well, and I've got some fun things, so I'll go grab those out of the truck. It's hiding right here. I was wondering where it was. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's falling apart. Oh no, he broke. Okay, so I saw this at Lowe's. Unfortunately, it did come apart a little bit, but it's a little air plant. How cute is it? I saw this at Lowe's the other day and I was like, I want to go back and get it. It's just a little like meditative skeleton. Isn't it so cute? Oh my goodness, I love it so much. But that little air plant just went right back in, so it's fine. And then I needed some cardstock. Got some of this little satin ribbon. We'll see how that works out. And then I got some silicone molds for wax melts, and I wanted to buy a bunch more, but I didn't want to be selfish and buy their whole stock. So I thought if I really like them, I will go ahead and make an order online. But this little stacked jack-o'-lantern is so cute. They were 40% off, so it was a pretty good deal. And then I got these skulls. You know I like the skulls. And so got some of the skulls. Whoop. And these ones are a little bit deeper, so they will make a better wax melt. You see they're a little bit deeper? They're so cute, and I just always love the teeth detail. Yes, I'm very excited about those. I will go add them to my stash. So the weather is supposed to change tomorrow, and I have steamers and bath bombs on my curing rack, and so I thought I better get those done. But I am going to take a moment with my knitting first. That's what I do. I come out in the mornings and I get the doggies out, let them wander for a little bit. I'll sit and I'll knit. I like to, let's sit and knit for a little bit is what I tell my puppy. So the main project that I'm working on, how about just like a cutesy little corduroy bag. I don't carry purses around, I just carry knitting bags. So I am working on, and you'll have to excuse any dog hairs, this is my personal stuff, and my dog is very floofy. But I try to keep everything extremely clean. The lint rollers and I are good friends. And so this is a pattern by Rosie Posey, and it's going to be a hat. And I'm using Malabrigo yarn. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? I am just having so much fun, and look, I've got my, let's see, I've got my skull needle stoppers. you have to have needle stoppers. And so yeah, this is just a fun little knit hat. It is being very stubborn. I have been fussing with folding this over for so long. I just need to quit until it's blocked and everything. But yeah, I love these little pumpkins at the bottom. Aren't they so cute? I am making this for somebody special. And yeah, I'm just using the Malabrigo yarns, worsted weight. They're so fun. I don't love working with worsted weight yarn, but I decided to because that project was too cute. There are actually 2 projects in here, and then this is what I carry when we go out and about. It's got my sunny glasses and my wallet's down in there too. I am very low maintenance, as you probably have figured out. So I am working on another Musselburgh hat. It is a mess in here. Hold please. So I cast on this Musselburgh because I needed a project that was going to bring me joy. It is just stockinette, and the colors are just right up my alley. They're so fabulous. This is a colorway from Montana Crochet. Look how pretty it is. I think it's called Carnival. And these the last month and the next couple of months are very stressful with us trying to get the house done and everything. And so I wanted just something that the color was just going to bring me so much joy, and it is bringing me so much joy. And then my son asked for a pair of socks. He likes my hand knit socks. I think it was in 2023 that I had mentioned, I think on Instagram on my Holly Bear MT account, that I wanted to learn to make socks, and it felt like something that was unattainable to me at the time because I didn't know how to knit. And now I've made so many different pairs, and I don't really post about it or show them like I should. But this is a ribbed sock that I'm making for my son. I'm working on the heel flap right now. I'm trying the ribbed just to see if it will fit him better. He says that he needs a bigger cuff, but then the leg needed to be a little bit tighter to fit his foot better. So we're trying the ribbed to see how it goes. And this is just a colorway from Yarnable. I am no longer getting that one because, you know, we're saving funds to build, so no more super fun subscriptions. This other project is a pearl onion cowl, and I'm also using a, let's see, I think this is also a Malabrigo yarn. I'm making this one for my daughter. This one is not getting as much activity, just because I'm working on those other 3, but I do still actually have 2 more projects. I'm still working on, and I showed it to you ages ago, a reader's shawl, and I'm working on, what is that called? A blanket. I'll have to put the name in, but I haven't touched it in a long time because working with the thicker yarns like DK, my hands go numb so badly. So I'm really fighting with numb hands right now between all the work out in the house, between making bath bombs and steamers, and then I knit when I have a chance, and so my hands have been going numb so much. I have really been getting into slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and just taking a chance to slow down. Slow stitches is what I've kind of been calling it, and that kind of falls in line with the Heidi and Lana knititations that I talked about in, I think, my last pack and chat. And just taking the time to knit and breathe. I say that to my dog sometimes too. Let's go knit and breathe. He is my best buddy, and we spend a lot of time together. But usually when I come out to knit outside, it's because Maverick needs to come be outside for a little bit. Alright, I've actually dilly-daddled a little bit too much this morning. If I want to go wander, then I'm going to have to go work. So let's put the dogs away and let's head to the workshop. My sunflowers are no longer amused because we've just started hitting freezing at night. All right, welcome to my studio. I do have some messes around. Today is kind of a cleanup day as well. I was packing some orders and I have my filming stuff out for Halloween goodies. So I need to get this all put away. And then I got this order in from Natural Bulk Supplies and I ordered like 28 pounds of coconut, thinking I was going to get a bucket. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to have to melt them down and pour it into a bucket, but one of them leaked. So that's fun. So like my poly is like a complete disaster. You're not going to focus. And some SLSA. I think it's in another bag, so that'll be good. I made some bath bombs, as I've said, so I have a lot of mess to clean up. I've got some hard oils prepped. I have some molds down there that I need to deal with. And just in general, oh look what I did. I was going to have a video for you this week of piping pumpkins. And they did not. They're cute enough, you know, but they didn't really turn out as I'd hoped, like I've done before, so I kind of ex-nayed that. Now, it doesn't look like there's a lot of soaps here, but keep in mind that most of my soaps are on the curing rack. I pull them off and I wrap them when it's time. I do have some new wax melts coming up. So this one, I didn't make a whole bunch. This is just kind of a in-betweener scenario, but this one is cider mill and there's little apples and leaves in there, super cute. This one is, let's get one where you can see maybe the pumpkins. This one is pumpkin pecan waffles. Whoa. This one is a rustic pumpkin. It's going to be a little bigger container this time. I just felt like that worked the best. I just got some samples and stuff laying out there. And then the others are up here in with the sunflowers. And this one is going to be the apple doodle. I made some as a sample and a customer asked me to make them for realsies because they loved it so much. So in the back here is still a personal space. It's not going to be a personal space for much longer, which kind of take a sneaky peek, but my son's piano is back there. He has some other stuff, so we're not going to really peek back in there. I keep all of my packaging stuff there. This is my wax melt station. And I just cannot wait to get into the back when I can set up for packing orders and everything will just be jolly and dandy and I won't have to share my main tables here. So look how cute he is. I do love all of my things. It's quite cute. So yeah, I just have got to do some cleaning up, straightening up. I do need to get outside and wash the windows because we have had just like a little bit of rain and blowing dust and now the windows have gotten quite unpleasant. So I am going to work on cleaning up all of this. So I have the National Shrink Wrap system. It's how I package my bath bombs. So you get this kind of like a carpet pad for heat protection, and then you get this orangey top. So then I have the roll of polyolefin, I think is its name. I don't know. And then we have the heat sealing tool. So I'll plug that in and get it ready to go. For the steamers, oh my. For the steamers, I need my impulse sealer, so we'll get that warming. I was going to start with my steamers and start shrink wrapping, but I just remembered I still have to paint my Nomi noses. So here's one set of, well, 2 sets, but some of my gnomes. I thought it would be super cute to paint the nose. Here we have some more gnomes. But wait, there's more gnomes and some pumpkins. So on the curing rack here, I think this one's pretty much empty. Up here I have meadow and bronze strawberry. That whole tray is completely full. We have a fairly full tray. Nope, fairly not full. Cranberry limeade and lemon rose water. This one is a very full tray. We've got peonies and peaches, sugared watermelon, and cherry hill. For this tray, we have figgy cream, some gilded, some honey bear, and trailhead. This tray has a little calendula carrot left. We have these anise soaps with pumpkin vanilla bean tallow. We have banana buttermilk and an experiment that I worked on. I don't know. This one, which it kind of turned out a little funky, but they're supposed to be an apple, sea salt, hummus, apricot kernel, scrubby soap. Scented in apple. I'm actually very excited about it because I think it's going to be very good. Something that happened this time that I haven't really experienced before is the apricot seed powder bled a little bit, which means some of its color seeps out into the surrounding area. So it did not quite turn out as I had hoped, but first batch, it's fine. I'll probably be making more of those over time. And this one, which is kind of backwards, look. They're my skeletons. This year, they're scented in a bubblegum scent, so that's fun. And then we have the Smells Better Than Death. Not a huge batch, but different and smells amazing. It's a mix of like blue candy frap and Fruit Loops. Amazing. I'm so excited about these soaps. And then this one is Oh Bite Me, and it's a little different colored this year. And I did cut some for samplers, a little bit more than I did with the last release. And then this one, isn't it beautiful? This one as like Ghost Party or something. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I have to do some trademark research. But it's scented in rainbow sherbet, and I just think these ones are just so spectacular. They're so fun. They're so cutesy. My goal is kind of to go in the more cutesy line of things for this spooky season instead of the, you know, dark and bloody, and just kind of, let's do cutesy. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I have to get set up to color the Nomi noses. Here I am. Here's my head finally. Okay, so I have my 99% alcohol And I pulled out some Sugar Rush mica. Has to be safe for bath bombs. This one is. And my honey blush. So I thought I would use these two to make just kind of like a color for, just to paint his nose. I was just thinking that, are we way off kilter now? I don't know. That I will try some super sparkles in it as well. So I'll try to back up a little bit. When you have only one camera, it's very hard to see me and what I am doing. So, a little container here. I did finally make an order from Nurture Soap. I'm very low on everything. All right, let's try that. A little goes a long ways. So that's Honey Blush. And I want to put in a little Sugar Rush, which is just a white. Really probably don't need that one at all, actually. But in it went. And then I thought it would be fun to do some of this. I don't know if you could see it sparkle. Some of the super sparkles. Because I do like to have the sparkle in the mica painting, but oh my. Alright, so here's my little mix so far. And then I'm just going to kind of wing it here. And see what I think. I probably should pick out, that's not very sparkly, but I think that's alright. I should pick out one that's probably going to end up being a sample or a holdback first. Alright, so here's my gnome, and this one is in a whipped lavender cream scent. It's very good. So you're taking a little bit of lavender, but you have that creamy note. It is not a straight lavender. It's very, very nice. I think it's just more of a sweet, calming fragrance. And so this mold is from Kata, whatever molds. I have my brush here. And I'm just going to test it. I guess you kind of can't see, but I'm just going to test it here first. See what I think. It's too dark. That's way too dark. I'm going to continue on. I just thought, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I don't love to paint bath bombs. I do a little bit, but I'm not going to paint the whole thing. That's just not going to happen. We're not going to get beard and hat and body. I don't know. I kind of like it now. I think it just kind of gives it a little something something. I'm not sure I want to mess with it too much, but I might go ahead and add in some more super sparkles and the Sugar Rush and brighten it up just a little bit. I didn't need near as much of the honey blush as I put in. But I just think that makes it so cute. Just a little bit. And then maybe I'll test it on a different one and see what we think. I think I need more alcohol now. This is, to me, is one of the hard things to figure out. Is it, how much alcohol do you need? You just kind of have to wing it and measure with your soul. Okay, I'm gonna try another one. Brush off all this extra. These ones are very difficult to pick up right when I make them, so I have to just drop them on the tray, and I don't like that. I don't like there to be any crumbles anywhere nearby, but there's no other way to do it in this particular situation. Otherwise, it just always breaks into. I think that's pretty cute. Really do. Need a little more sparkle in there. So I kind of had to mix it up. Alright, I think I'm going to go with that. I like it. Isn't he cute? That's so cute. Okay, I'm going to reposition and get to work. I was going to show you that I struggled a little bit more with these tan ones. They're almond and vanilla when I was making them. Do you see the cracks? What happened was I made the purple ones and then I ran to town, and when I came back I just went right back to my regular recipe. Well, humidity had dropped 5%, and so that made a huge difference in this batch. Ended up being too dry and too weak, and so moving them around, they were cracking. His nose wasn't pressing very well, and so I thought it was golden. I thought it was all right because, you know, I just made them, but I forgot to look at the humidity levels, and it truly had changed that much in this room. We're not quite that low outside, but in the room we had changed because I do run a dehumidifier, and I had just forgotten to check it. And so when I went to make the next batch, which is still has some cracks, I did have to increase the water amount. I was just looking around on my shelf. Look at what's been sitting on my shelf for a year. This pretty much empty box with some tamper seals, one spider organza bag, which means that's been since last Halloween, and one little box, which is actually convenient because I needed to get some more of these and I just ordered them. That's 2 inches, I think. Yeah. So yeah. Why? I'm gonna work on packaging my steamers for a while. Get those done while the bath bombs dry. Well, I'm done packaging. I want to call them hateful little things, but that's not very nice because we all do love the steamers. But I have them packaged. But the packaging is, it's mostly fine, my impulse sealer is getting this like burned, and it's like up on this end, so up on the upper end it doesn't burn, it just I could peel off the little pieces, but on this end it's just burning and I can't get it off, and so I'm gonna have to figure out something else. And then these things stick just everywhere. I end up spraying with a little alcohol, usually just kind of help get it off my hands. After 11, I suspect we would leave around this joint. Oh, my air purifier is kicking up. It does not like the dust from the steamers. But I think we'd probably leave around 1 to 1:30. So I still have time to work on getting all the bath bombs taken care of. If I had more time, okay, my cord is stuck. I would probably focus on getting all my pictures done before I shrink wrap all the bath bombs, because I do kind of like to do like a flat photo, but I don't know that I want to take the time to get that all set up for today. So I think I'll just package them and come up with a different photo. I'm so far behind. I actually wanted to list all of this on Thursday. It is now Saturday. I don't know. Alrighty, let's get started on these. Actually, move some stuff. Alright, so let's see. Let's turn these to the side. So I have this biofin, whatever business, and it is a you can breathe, you can smell through it. It is, to my knowledge, biodegradable. I have to look up the exact information. I do go ahead and I don't lay them all out at first. I don't like how it works. Ooh, that one's a real nice fella. I'll probably just have to have some of the crumbles in there just a little bit. I wonder if I could fit more than 3 in a row. I don't know that I'll shrink wrap these today because I don't necessarily want to take all that time. I think I knocked a lot of the crumbles off when I was picking them up to do the mica. I usually do about 3 rows. And then come back this way. This table does have a little dip in it, and they do warn against that when you're pressing down. So sometimes if I'm not real careful, I don't get a good seal in some spots, so I do have to be careful. Looks like I can get another gnome in each section here. We'll see, because it's kind of wrinkled up funny. Oh yeah, it has. Pardon. It has been a while since I've made any gnomes. I think back in Missouri was the last time. purple turned out so nice. I love it. It's so cute. All right, we'll try the 4. And now I'm ready to switch over. So this one is the almond vanilla one, and it just has a really lovely scent. It is kind of a warm, leans a hint perfumey to me. So I'm kind of wondering if it's supposed to be like, it was just a sample that I had, a duplication from like Sol de Janeiro or whatever. I'll have to look that up, because you know how they have like the plum and jasmine and it's just really beautiful fragrances. I think their most popular one was the Bum Bum Cream scent. I don't love shrink wrapping, and nobody in my family loves to shrink wrap, and I was doing soaps in shrink wrap for a while, and my husband said, if you continue to ask me for your assistance and you if you continue to ask me for assistance and you continue to use shrink wrap, I'm not helping. And I was like, I feel you, because I don't love it. But for bath bombs, it really does just work the best. So I'm still on the first original roll of this stuff that I bought. I know that it was, the company was sold, and I don't know. So I realized my battery had died and that I wasn't actually showing you anything. This shouldn't bother me, but I cannot even deal when it gets crooked like that, and I ended up just taking off that triangle. Anyway, these cutesy little green ones, they're apple scented. This is the sweetest apple, and I was really frustrated because I didn't know what color I should make them, and so we had run to town, and I asked my husband on the way home, what should I do? I don't know what to do. And he said they need to be green, because when people think of apple, they think of green. And I was just like, that's fine. That is fine. That's what we'll do. Need to remember to keep one out for pictures. You look pretty cute. I kind of have a crackle-let going. That one's, yeah, let's just do that one. These ones definitely go together better, a lot faster than the steamers. And it's a different kind of shrink wrap, and that's why I use the other for the steamers. It's just what I prefer for them. This is a real soft, and this is more, see? That one's a crinkly, where this is more of a soft, stretchier kind. Need to do some stretching. I am not feeling the bestest at the moment. I just realized I got 3 more of the green ones than the other ones. That's so weird. Alright, so now we're going to do the pumpkins, and I did put just a little bit of the mica on the top of these. And this is just a cutesy little pumpkin that smells like, I'm calling it rustic pumpkin, just like the wax melts. And it is, if you saw my sniff fest for Hive and Honey, it is the pumpkin patchouli. And even though it says patchouli, don't be scared away by that, because it is not like, whoa, patchouli. It is just a warm, beautiful pumpkin. This mold presses to look a little rustic, and so that's why I thought I would call it rustic pumpkin, because like on the top, I don't know if you can see it, where it looks like it's like a little bumpy. That's the mold. That's not that I didn't get it filled or that my mix wasn't smooth or whatever. That's the mold. So I think after this is what I have to do before it potentially rains. I think I'm gonna go check in with my husband and see what he's thinking, if he's about ready to go wander, and see if our son wants to go, and if so, I need to cut him off to not eat lunch because we'll probably get lunch while we're out. We'll see. I don't know what direction we're headed. Part of me wants to go up to a lake northeast of Whitefish that we've been wanting to go to, but if we take that route, we'll probably end up in Pole Bridge, which is by Glacier, and that just seems like too much for today. I'm not prepared for that kind of funny business. I'll just see what my husband's thinking. Where does he want to go wander? It's gonna be one of our last days in the 80s, and so I was just kind of thinking that perhaps we could take the top off the Jeep. We haven't ridden with the top off that much this year. One of the first times we did, I pretty much got heat exhaustion because it was such a hot day, and so we haven't really done it since then. Our old Jeep had a soft top that it was just like, we just popped the hooks and pushed it back. That was so nice, but this is a hard top, so we have to take them out. And of course, there's always a chance of rain here, so it's not like we can just not take them. So we always have to take them and strap them down. Let's go find Dad. Let's go find him. Where is he? Let's go find Dad. Where is he always? Hi, kitty. Let's go find Dad. Good to find him. All right, so we are getting ready to head to town. My husband did not have as good and successful morning as I did, so he needs some plumbing parts. So we're gonna head into town, and from there, hopefully we'll get to wander. So come along. What are you doing, Maverick? You're so cute. He's what? This one wants to go. We are off like a herd of turtles. All right, so we've stopped at Ace Hardware. He needs like a plumbing part. And then we're going to try to get lunch, but they aren't answering their phone, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we have had lunch. That was delicious and a great success. And we're at Lowe's now. My husband did not find the part at Ace. I've got the Garmin InReach on and ready to go, so I'm ready to wander in the mountains. Coffee though. Coffee.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
So this is the North Shore of Flathead Lake. And then this is Flathead Valley. Kind of up in there is Glacier. We'll be able to see a little bit more, although it's hazy when we're further up the mountain. So this is the Swan Range, and let's see where it kind of comes down here. There is a bug, will not leave me alone. Kind of comes down here. Back in there is Bad Rock Canyon, and then that's how you get to Glacier. And so then Whitefish will be past this hillside over in there somewhere. And this is a great valley for farming. We've been going to the North Shore Farm, so when I was showing you the lake across, from my husband when he was driving, we were right down in there. So let's see, that's Summers. So up the road a little bit and then over is Big Fork, and that's where, on the way to Big Fork, we go to North Shore Farm. There is somebody riding their bike up that way, so that should be interesting. Look, there's a road right up there. Somebody has property clear up there. Ouch, it bit me. Look how pretty this hillside is with all the colors changing. There's a lot more roads, but they usually have them blocked off by dirt piles. Alright, so this is one of the last lake views, and I don't know if you can see it. You barely see it. Right here too, on just the other side of the lake there, that's where the missions pick up. And so then these mountains in the forefront are the missions, and that's what I grew up alongside in Ronan, which is about an hour down the road. But then behind it, then the swans continue over there. So we're going to be going into the mountain area now and won't be right here on the side. So there's actually an old man behind us mountain biking. Oh, here he is. So over here is the backside of Blacktail Mountain. You could probably see the ski slopes, kinda, it's hazy. And then the, what is that, a radar ball thingy up at the top? I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but yep. That's one of the bigger ski resorts around here. All right, we're headed home and back to work. Talk to you later. Bye.